Ladies, let me tell you something. We were talking about, can you see it? All right, we were talking about this last night. We were talking about it today. We saw it last night, and we were at Walmart, and she never seems to see it, but I do. I have to point it out to her, and then she sees it, okay? But when a man is walking 10, 15 feet away from his girl, and she's just walking, or she's pushing a cart, and he's like 10, 15 feet behind her, like he doesn't even want to be next to her, that right there is an issue that needs to be taken care of. If your man's doing it, you need to pull his little butt up, because let me tell you something. If a man can't be right next to you when he's walking and be proud that you are his woman, there's an issue. Let me tell you something. A man that does that, he's doing it because he doesn't want other women to know that he's really with somebody, and he doesn't really want to be around you in public, okay? And it gives him that chance to check out all the other girls in the whole place. And I'm telling you this as a man, so all those guys that just got busted, and your girl's going, I wonder why he does that with me. Now, she will tell you, is that what happened or what?
It is what happened. I didn't notice it. Like he said, he pointed it out to me. The woman was pushing the cart, and the man was so far behind her, if you didn't know, you wouldn't know they were together. But then they walked out, they checked out, and then they walked out together. He was still behind her, but a little closer. But when you saw them at first, he was so far behind this woman. If you didn't know they were together, you wouldn't have known that they were together, because he was so far back. And he looked like, he had a look on his face like he couldn't even be bothered. And even later on, after they checked out and they were walking out of the store, he still had this look on his face just like, I just can't even believe I'm with you. Just,
Oh, yeah. And the whole time I'm checking him out, he's looking at every girl in the whole place. He's even checking her out, because she had to actually go to the next aisle, one or two aisles over, and pick up, I think, potato chips. You were looking for, you had to grab something, and I had to go into another aisle. And while I was walking out of the aisle, she was walking out, walking down. He's checking her out the whole time. And of course, when he saw that she was coming to me, he had that kind of disgusted look. But that's another question. That's another, whatever. I wish he would have said something. That's what I got to say. But now listen.
You wish he would have said something to who? You or me?
Yeah, me. But we were. I know. I'm gonna just flip them. We're making wings. I got to flip them. But there was a situation where we were in. Remember when we went to York?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Now, let me tell you about this dude. We were walking out of this farmer's market. We had a farmer's market. We were walking out. This lady is holding this little girl's hand, and they're walking. This dude is like 15 feet behind her, taking his good old time. She keeps looking back like, where are you at? And they walk to the car, and literally he is so far behind, he doesn't even want, it was almost embarrassing. I felt bad for her and the little girl. The little girl keeps looking back like, where's daddy? Where's daddy? And he's just got that little.
And when they get to the car, he doesn't bother opening the door, helping her put the little girl in the seat or with the packages or anything. He just got into his side of the and he was in the passenger seat. He wasn't even driving.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't open up the car door for his wife or girlfriend, whatever. Doesn't pick up the baby and put him in the seat. He just opened up his side of the door, popped in, closed the door. She has to sit here and put the baby in and go around and all. See, I'm a big believer. I mean, I open up her car door for her, even to this day, and it's over 4 years. I open up the door for her. I make sure when we walk, and this sounds crazy, but when we walk in the parking lot, or even we're on the sidewalk, she is not allowed. Well, I can't say she's not allowed, but I make sure it does not walk into the traffic area. If we're walking up to the mall or we're in the parking lot or something, she walks over towards where the cars are. I walk on this side. Any man that makes his wife or girlfriend...
Wait, hold on. When he says I'm over where the cars are, not the cars that are moving. I'm away from the moving traffic.
That's right. So let me tell you something, and let me tell you something in this for any man. Let me tell you, you never allow your girl to be in the area where the traffic is going. That is called a wussy, okay? You know why? Because you don't have enough common sense to know that if something happens and a car gets out of whack or they speed or whatever may happen, you're putting your girlfriend or your wife out there to get hit by a car. That's why she is on this side, because if something happens, I'm the one that's going to get hit. I'm the one that's going to get hurt. I'm protecting my wife, my woman, my children, whatever it is. They are on this side. I'm on the danger side. Danger, danger. Even on the sidewalk, and it sounds crazy because it's a sidewalk, but still, even on the sidewalk, I walk the closest to the street. She walks on the other side. Right?
Yeah.
That's right.
You walk on the curb, I walk on the inside.
Right. And that's how it should be. So men, you know, I don't know.
Man up.
Man up. There you go. Man up. Start being, you know, I see women that are actually open up the doors for men. They actually open up the door and hold it, like kind of like be the first one to grab the door, and he's like, oh, grabs it for himself. Or he opens up the door and walks right in and doesn't even open it up for her. She's sitting there grabbing it and open it up. Come on, man. Be a man. I mean, come on. I just cannot stand. I can't stand it. I can tell they were not raised right. So, any of you guys listen to me? Grow up. Right, like I said. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there, and they are not the alphas. Okay, they are the betas, or you know.
That's okay, because not every man is meant to be an alpha.
That's right.
And all men, there can't be a million trillion alphas.
That's right.
You wouldn't have the balance. That's some men are alphas, some men are betas, some men are omegas.
Right. Exactly. And I'm all right with that. You know, if that's where you are, that's where you are. But at the end of the day, don't make your woman act like the man. And you know, when it comes to stuff like that, protect her. Make sure she's okay. You know what I mean? Open up the door for her. You know, don't let her have to open up the door for you. Just because you want to act like a woman doesn't mean you need to be treated like a woman. Okay? Really. You know, she sat there and said, you know, when I first met her, I sat there and told her, I said, I'm going to show you how it is for a real man to treat you. And she was like, oh, really? You know, and I said, yes. And so far, I think you already know, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I wouldn't be married to him otherwise.
That's right. I make sure she's taken care of, you know, when it comes to everything. Financially, physically, emotionally, everything. She's taken care of. I open up the doors for her. I make sure she's secure. She feels secure. She feels there's no threat. She doesn't feel like anybody can hurt her, right?
That's right. That is correct. I mean, that's the way you should feel. That's how I feel. I mean, I think that's one of the perks. There's a lot of perks to being a wife. But one of the perks of being a wife is that the security that you feel. It's like, if I don't feel secure, I can just stay single. Like, if you're not adding that value to my life, then what are you doing? Just go away otherwise.
Right. And that's another thing with guys. You got to make sure. I know there's some guys that are just not fighters, and they just do not want to fight. They want to avoid fight, and that's okay. I don't want to fight. You know, now God forbid I've been in a lot of fights, but at the end of the day, nobody wants to fight. But let me tell you something. If you look like a wuss, or you do not protect or stand up for your woman, you're not going to last long with your woman. She's going to look at you as weak and unsecure, and she knows she can't trust you. So that's one thing you definitely, I don't care if you sit there and got to get your ass handed to you. At the end of the day, your wife will at least have enough respect that you said something back and that you did something. You might not be able to beat everybody every day. Nobody can.
Well, what about those how about those men who are wussies? I don't really like that term, but you guys know what I'm saying. What about those men who don't fight back, who back down? And you know, there's plenty of guys like that. They've been married for years. Yeah. They've been married for years, and even their wives know, oh, this dude is not going to stand up in a fight.
That's right.
So what about those guys?
Oh, well, yeah. You got to at least say something. You got to at least do something. You know, don't be so scared. You know, The majority of the time, there's no fight. But you gotta say something. You can't just sit back and just not do nothing because your wife has no respect. You might think she does. She has no respect for you when it comes to that. She doesn't. She doesn't feel secure or nothing. That's the worst feeling in the world for a woman not to feel secure with her husband around.
You ain't never lied.
You know?
That is the truth.
Exactly. No woman wants to sit here and see danger coming and go, oh my God, what am I going to have to do to protect myself?
Exactly.
Right?
If you're out someplace with your husband, your boyfriend, and trouble comes, and you feel like, oh no, what's going to have to happen? Or you're looking at him like, okay, which of us is going to do something? Then that's kind of a bad situation, in my opinion. I mean, really. If trouble comes...
What happened to you? You've had it done before, haven't you?
Oh, one time, you guys, years ago, before I met Michael, I was on... I wasn't on a date, but I was at a nightclub with a girlfriend. Or no, I don't know if I went by myself or not, but I was at a nightclub.
I thought you meant that guy.
Yeah, this is this is the story that I'm going to tell. I was at a nightclub, and a guy came up to me and was trying to talk to me. Yeah, I'd never met him. And he came up to me, he was trying to talk to me. We were chatting, and he was nice and stuff. And another guy, out of nowhere, I mean, I couldn't believe it. This was the most blatant disrespect I've probably ever seen in real life. Me and this one guy are talking. Another guy comes, stands directly in front of that man like he didn't even exist. And he starts talking to me like, hey, girl, how you doing? And I was like, I'm talking to this man right behind you. I mean, that was the most disrespectful thing I've ever encountered. I just couldn't believe that. And the poor guy was standing behind there like he didn't even say anything. Like, oh, hey, I'm talking to this woman. He didn't say anything. So clearly he didn't get my phone number. But just instances like that. What would you have done in that situation, Michael? Now, you don't know me. I'm not your woman. You just met me.
Well, I mean, that would have been just an ugly situation. I would have had to snatch him up and tell him he's going to have to roll that I'm talking to this woman, or I'm talking to you, or I would have asked him, do you know her, or do you know what I mean? I would have had to find out, do you know her or something? He said no.
No, I'm trying to get to know her.
I said, you're going to get to know my fist upside your head.
But I
see if you play with me.
I could not believe that. He just, like, it would be like, let's say, like, you and I are talking right now, and he stands directly in front of you with his back towards you and his face towards me, just like you don't even exist.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. To this day, I still think about that sometimes, like, wow.
And the same thing is, too, is when she sat there and I told her how a man's going to, and I told her, I said, I'm going to make sure that you know that you're loved every single day of your life, right?
Yes.
And make sure that you are loved and taken care of. And that you're always going to be taken care of. Mm-hmm. And have I lived up to that?
Oh, and then some.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So, men, if you're trying to get a woman, okay, be confident, be secure. Make sure that she is loved every day and she knows she's loved every single day. Make sure it doesn't have to be all gifts and stuff like that. It's just what you tell her and how she takes you, what you say to her, how she feels, because it's not all about words. She's got to feel it.
Love is an action. It's an action. It's not, gifts and all that are nice. Gifts are nice. Words are nice. But love is an action. Show me every day. Make me feel it every day. Love, you have to make a conscious effort every single day. That's how people slip and, grow apart, because you're not making a conscious effort. You got to,
that's right.
Every day.
That's right.
Every day.
Yeah. That's why, in the mornings, every morning, she gets her little kisses all over her face before I leave. She's sound asleep, and I give her little kisses, tell her I love her, and have a good day, and all that. As soon as I get home, I try to give her a kiss. And, I'm all dirty and everything, and she runs from me every day, and I chase her down. It's like a ritual we have, and then I have to chase her down. I barely touch her, and she's screaming and hollering, and I get out of the shower, and then she wants to kiss me. So then it's fun. It's fun. You got to make it fun. So, I figured we'd just go. I had to go on the rant because I was just getting angry about things we just saw on TV and just things in general. I was just kind of getting a little aggravated, so I just kind of was like, you know what? I'm getting the camera out. I'm going on a rant. And this is the way it is. So I don't know.